yeah, so this video is basically just some thoughts that I have like as a new driver. Like I passed my driving test like a couple of months ago. Never thought that I would. Like I never thought that I would at all. I'd be like, I'm never gonna drive. I'm just not going to, and I can't do it. Um, but yeah, so I did pass. I did like 45 lessons, something like that. It was a lot, and I did lots of hours like outside of the lessons as well in the car. Did a lot of like research online on YouTube. You can learn a lot, like a lot on YouTube, you know. So definitely, YouTube was a great resource as I was learning to drive, like both for theory tests and practical, and just general like advice for drivers and stuff. You know, there's a lot of really good people on YouTube. These driving instructor people, you know, people they you film like themselves driving as well. You know, so you can just see from a first person view like the road. All that stuff is very handy. Like it's super good. But yeah, as a new driver, like I'm not a confident driver at all, and there's certain things that I just uh, make me very nervous. Like I can drive about in town like fine. I enjoy that actually. Um, I actually do enjoy being in the car, but like driving on the country roads, um, you know, like going 60 miles an hour, like that's more. I find that more difficult. Like around here, the roads like they don't always have the well, they're not always in the best shape. They got lots of potholes, and also they often don't have paint. Like they don't have the middle road marking, you know, to divide the road. When you don't have that, like that really freaks me out because I'm like, I see people doing it like in town, you know, where like if the road doesn't have a middle marking, they'll take up like way more space to come right over to your side of the road. And I think it's because I'm in a little car and like these people in big SUVs or whatever, you know, it's like they think that like well they have more right to space on the road, but they don't have the right to come into my side of the road. But it's kind of I'm just thinking like what if that happens like when you're doing 60 miles an hour, and that kind of did happen. Like there was a big bend, and the car on the other side was doing like the racing line thing, you know, like where like instead of staying totally on your side, like you kind of come over to the other side a little bit, and it's basically on the literally on the middle, like the middle point of the road, you know, rather than like firmly over to their side. And I saw that, and then I went too far left because I was scared of hitting them, and then like I hit into like the side of the road, and then well, no, I didn't hit into anything, but like I hit a bump, and then the car steering like it just got out of control, and I wrestled control back of the car, but it was wobbling, and I thought like I'm gonna hit something because there's a car coming, and I was at that time I was like, right, that's it, you've been found out. See, you can't drive, and it's dangerous, and you shouldn't drive anymore. So I was like, I'm just never gonna drive anymore. Um, you know, so I have been driving since then. If I have to go to the next town over, which is like 20 miles away, like I will take the back roads, the single track road rather than like the main, you know, carriageway, because just like the aspect of having cars come in the opposite direction, 60 miles an hour, like it's just something like I just find it like it's I don't know how other people get used to it. Like, I don't know how they can get used to it. If it was a better quality and a bigger road, it'd be better, but it's not. It's a little windy, pothole filled, you know, bendy road with no road marking and stuff, and you know, people now, you know, it's all SUVs, it's all these big American style pickup trucks, and you know, then you got the buses, and you got like you know like everything like that, and it's like um yeah, so it's like I don't feel confident with that aspect of driving at all. I do feel more confident in the town. Like I do feel a lot more confident in the town driving. Um, and I think I can do it quite well. It's not an issue. But yeah, and it's like as well. Like I realize it's like it's like kind of a well known fact that like a lot of people overestimate their skill of driving. I think it's like the average person tends to believe they're slightly above average in terms of skill for driving, you know. And I used to always think that like there's something wrong with that, and it just shows people are being arrogant. But then I think I realized that it's like I think you're supposed to feel like that. Like it's important to feel like I'm a good driver. I'm, you know, because like even if it means maybe slightly overestimating your ability, because you need to have that. You need to have that confidence that like that helps you. I actually think that helps you just um drive. I think it's like a defense mechanism of people to be like I'm better than the average driver, because you don't want to think that you're just average or potentially below average, because then your mind start wondering about like, well, maybe you might cause an accident. So the best thing to do is just believe and tell yourself that like I'm great. You know, that's what I think. So I don't know, but you know, I don't know what you're allowed to say on YouTube, but obviously, you know, like the worst things that can happen to you or you're, you know, someone else on the road, other people, passengers, pedestrians, like it's scary to you know have that responsibility, and it's a huge responsibility, you know. So even if it doesn't go that far, it's like you could really mess up your day, you could mess up somebody else's day, you could increase your insurance premiums, you could just cause a massive hassle for everyone around you, or just have a bad time. And you know, so it's like a scary stuff to commandeer, you know, like a you know a car, because the, you know, the buck stops with you, you know, if something happens. And I'm definitely an advocate for like dash cams. I think especially as a new driver as well, like say something goes wrong and it's not your fault, you know, it might look like, well, this other person's been driving for like 30 years and you've been driving for like 30 days, so it's their word against yours. It's looking like, you know, it's probably your fault. So if you have a dash cam, that can't happen. Like if someone else causes a problem or whatever, well, you can prove that it's not your fault, because there might be a prejudice there or whatever to believing that you're at fault, you know. But if you can improve that, then if you can prove that, you know, then it's not a problem. So yeah, I'm an advocate for that. Um, so yeah, if you don't have a dash cam, you can just use your phone. So I just use my phone in the meantime. Just record with that. But you are better off getting a dash cam though, because it's just more convenient and it stores more and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, so as well, it's like you just pick up on stuff, you know, and it's um like being at a junction or whatever like that. Like someone, you know, at least often like people, if they're coming at the junction that you're coming out of, it's like they will often, you know, swing into like your side of the road, you know. So it's kind of like I keep more to the left rather than like in the middle of my lane, like at the end of a junction sort of thing, and just you just pick up stuff like that, you know. But yeah, and it's like that's the thing. It's like I think I think a lot. I think I overthink a lot, and I think that in combination with like driving, it's like I think there's a lot of people out there that they just don't think about this stuff. Like I look up statistics for like accidents and stuff, and like, you know, like how many people get really hurt or whatever every day, like in the UK or whatever. Like I know this statistics. Like I look it up because I get nervous about this stuff. Um, and are like so it's like because I'm thinking about all that stuff, I think that's what's making me like a less confident driver or whatever, you know. And like some people will tell me it's like just don't look it up, just don't think about it, and I'm like, but I can't not do that, you know what I mean. Other things as well, like if you're on a single track road, you know, it's like you going around like a blind corner or whatever, obviously I slow right down, you know, so that I can brake in time and I don't have to emergency brake. I can just, you know, things go smoothly if there is a, you know. But some people don't do that. I've noticed some people don't do that. They go flying around a corner even if they don't know what's around that corner on these single track roads, you know. So there's a lot of things that make me nervous that other people do, you know. um so yeah, but it's like as well, it's like being in a small car, like the wind, like on a windy day, that can knock the car about like a lot. That can really knock the car about, you know. That's another thing that makes me nervous, like on the country roads, you know. So basically what I'm saying is like I'm a nervous driver. um I'm not gonna stop driving, but I thought that like when I passed my test or whatever, I would just be like, it's great, I can drive, I can go where I want. For some people, that probably is how it feels, but for me, it's not. So, I mean, it's okay though. I mean, it's definitely a personal achievement to get my driving license. I think that's really cool. Definitely got a lot of experience driving since then. Not like a lot, but I mean, by my standard, yeah, I have a lot, like in terms of me. But just getting in the car, a good thing as well for new drivers, like do things that make you nervous, like certain like maybe certain roads you don't know or whatever. Just like do things like maybe certain streets that I would avoid because I'm like, oh, I wouldn't know what to do if this happens or that happens. So like I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go that road so that I don't get into the habit of avoiding it. So that I just get more comfortable and I don't just develop like safe like habits or whatever. Like I try and keep up like my parallel parking or whatever. I don't want to forget certain skills. Um, so yeah, I mean that's just kind of some thoughts I have about like it's being like a new driver. It's very eye opening. Also being a new driver as well, it's like learning. I never used to believe when people said that. They'd say like, "Oh, you don't really start learning how to drive until after you pass your test." And I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah, obviously you do learn how to drive doing your lessons. Like, you mechanically learn how to drive the car, but like, yeah, I would say that you don't really learn how to be a driver. A driver. Yeah, until you pass your test, and you're driving on your own, because that's a completely different thing. So I do think that there is a certain level of being a driver that you can't learn until after you pass your test. So I definitely would agree with that. And it's also like learning how to speak a language that you didn't used to speak, and then like you can see mistakes that other people do that you didn't used to see before, and you can just see maybe like silly things that people do when they're driving, or like things that I'm like, why are you doing that, or what's the point in that, or I would have been more careful there, like, or like you just notice things, you know what I mean? Whereas like I never used to notice, so it's like before learning how to drive, it's like you're more innocent to like the road and other people's driving styles or whatever. And then after you learn how to drive, it's like you have that knowledge, you have that like that language, you can speak that language, like you understand it, and then suddenly you're aware like there's so much crazy stuff happening on the roads that you didn't know before. You know what I mean? It's like you'd be none the wiser. Whereas now it's like I know, I know about all the stuff that's happening. Um, so yeah, but yeah, definitely a steep learning curve. But yeah, definitely good. It's a good thing to do. I just wish like the road quality was better or whatever. Around here, unfortunately, it's not. Definitely feel more comfortable driving in the town or the city or whatever. Yes, definitely. But yeah, anyway, that's just some thoughts that I had as being a new driver or whatever. So yeah, anyway, thanks for listening to the video.